What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Rome back with another video. If you're new to the platform, welcome to the tribe. By the end of this video, I hope you subscribe. Man, I came across this clip the other day and this woman went off. And there's also going to be another response, kind of like a stitch that they do on TikTok, where another woman is going to add on to what this woman said. So sit tight. I may have to stop it. I may have to let the track breathe a little bit because she went off for about a good 5-6 minutes. Plus, I want to play the other clip for you guys. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it.
Y'all, I really want to talk about a subject that is not talked about a lot. And the Gen X generation gonna be real hot with me, but I really want to talk about the millennials who are doing the best they can without real grandmothers. And by the way, when I say Gen X, though, that's like whoever was born in 1968 to 1980. You know, back in the day when I used to play outside when I was a kid, I had friends who would always be at their grandmama and their auntie house. Now, my mother is not part of the Gen X generation. My mom was born in the 50s, right? So when I would go outside, I used to ask my friends, like, dang, you been at your grandma's house for a real long time. Dang, you been at your auntie house for about a real long time. Where's your mom? Like, you know, did you talk to her? Is she okay? Because you've been here for about 14 days. I mean, you would have literally thought that I worked for child services at a young age because I had questions that needed answers because my mama didn't play that shit. She didn't believe in leaving me at her mama's house for umpteen days or her sister's house for umpteen days during school days and never returning until like the 14th day. Like, my mama did not play none of that. And it's sad to me how millennials, you know, when it's time for them to live their life, you know, if they want to go out for a weekend, hey mama, can you watch my baby for me? A lot of y'all in the Gen X generation, you won't even look out for them. And the sad part to me, Gen X will be like, oh, I don't got time for all of that. I done raised y'all. I want to live my life. Baby, it's 365 days in a year. Your children or your child been at your grandma's house back in the day 364. So I'm trying to figure out, who in the hell did you really raise? Some of y'all kids was at your sister house, your mama house, your great-great-grandma house. I mean, Gen X, a lot of y'all had a whole damn village when it came to y'all children. And you can't come through for yours? Now it's y'all turns to be the grandmama. It's now y'all turns to be the aunties. And it's so sad. Everybody looked out for y'all. But now it's your turn and you can't do nothing? And then you say, oh, I want to live my life. Oh, I want to live my life. Baby, what did you miss in your prime? Y'all was at the clubs 24/7. And let's not even talk about Freaknik, baby. You went every fucking year. Now your sister needs some help. Now your brother needs some help with, hey sis, can you watch my son for me? Can you watch my daughter for me for like an hour? Ooh, an hour? An hour? Little Miss Unfit, an hour too much for you? Not the same bitch who left your child at your mama house sitting up here talking about, oh, I'm going to the club. I'm gonna be back at 9. I'm gonna be back at 9. Your mama had just told you she barely got food in the house, and you literally picking up your child, which was the millennial child. You picking up your baby Sunday evening. You can't sit up here and look out for your niece, your sister when it come down to your niece and nephew, but your children stayed at your sister's and your brother's house. Now it's your turn and you can't do nothing? And some of y'all was hella trifling, baby. Y'all would drop y'all kids off, walk off with your purse, and didn't even ask. And the same.
Like I said, I knew I was gonna have to let it breathe for a minute, but you know, quick question: like, do y'all know anybody that's like this? I definitely do. And when I first started watching this clip, and I was like, damn, you know what? She right. Because it's a lot of older women, Gen X women, who I know for a fact when they was in their prime, that's pretty much all they did. Especially, like women in my family. And to see like how many women that are like in their 40s and 50s, which is basically Gen X, and to sit over here and hear them talk about how they're not gonna watch kids and they're not gonna do this and this and that, and I'm just kind of like, hold on, wait a second, man. All y'all did was party when y'all was young, so it's like, who the hell was watching y'all kids when y'all was out all the time? So yeah, man, I'm definitely hearing her on this, man. So this was very intriguing when I first came across it. So I thought everybody would be able to relate to this, man. All right, let's keep it moving.
And the sad part is nowadays the millennials really can't even ask you because they know what you was about. They know what you about. Millennials don't even pull out half the shit y'all pulled off back in the late 80s and early 90s and 2000s, baby. Come on now. Because they know what type of person you are. And what gets me is about Gen X. A lot of y'all, not all of y'all, but a lot of y'all will literally sit up there and be like, the reason why my child or the children, the way they are today, the reason why they're so independent is because of me. Are they the reason why they are today because you taught them that, or because they didn't have a choice? Because there is a difference between teaching your child to be independent and because they didn't have a choice. So which one is it? Because the millennials I went to school with, the ones that I played with, they raised themselves while you went and go fucked off. They raised themselves when you were still at that nigga house who still don't want you to this day. They raised themselves when y'all stayed at the club. They raised themselves when y'all spent the whole week at Freaknik. They raised themselves. And it's so sad, y'all sorry asses can't come through for nobody. And the sad part is, when it comes to your millennial child, her daddy already sorry. You picked her daddy, and then you gonna turn around and be a sorry ass mother, and turn around and be a sorry ass grandmama, and a sorry ass auntie. I mean, sometimes I look at, not all of y'all, but sometimes I look at the Gen X generation like a damn platypus. I mean, God just be making anything, because at this point, what are you good for? What are you good for? So my advice to my millennials, baby, continue to do the best you can. That's all you can, sis. That's all you can do, sis. That's all you can do, bro, is do the best you can. Because at this point, baby, I mean, you've been making it as far as we all can remember. You the one that's been raising. If you the oldest, baby, we all know you been the one raising your damn siblings. All of them. Early one of them. Baby, we all know you the one who had to fend for yourself. Do the best you can. And just, instead of arguing with your mama, and started arguing with your daddy, accept them for who they are and just keep trucking and just do the best you can. When your child start asking questions about, why my grandma don't come around, why every time I look around, grandma won't let me come over, what's going on? Don't dog her out. Do not dog her out. She will see when she get of age. She will see when she get of age. Just keep trucking and handle your business. Period.
That's really all you can do, regardless of what age group you are. Now, I'm 38, so I'm a millennial myself. So I've witnessed and understand a lot of what she's saying and where she's coming from. However, my parents have actually happened to be from the baby boomer generation. So, my dad was born in 47. My mother was born in 55. So, my dad was 76 when he recently passed. My mom is 68. And I think that's a big part of the reason why I look at relationships the way I do, why I look at gender roles the way I do, because my parents were old school. I was raised old school, and that's just what it is. And that's unfortunate, because I think there is a lot of, especially guys in my age group, that were probably raised in a similar fashion, because they probably had parents that were in a similar age group. That's why there's so many men in their 30s and 40s that are single and childless. In my opinion, I think that's why a lot of men that watch me are in their 30s and 40s, single and childless. And a big part of the reason why is because they were probably brought up like me to a certain degree, and they were probably brought up by parents who were around the same age group. Yeah, I mean, if your parents are baby boomers and you're in your 30s and 40s and single and childless, I'm letting you know right now, there's a connection there. Trust me. All right, now I want to show you guys this next clip of this lady here because her response to the lady that you just watched was very, very telling. Man, I'm like, you thought the first chick was gonna have a sisterhood mad at her? Wait till y'all see this one. Check this out.
A lot of y'all in the Gen X generation, you won't even look out for.
So I'm Gen X, and I just want to let you know that if anyone in my generation comes for you, it's either because it's not their personal experience or they don't want to face the truth about Gen X as a collective. Now, having been in my teens and 20s during the 1990s, I think I know what may have contributed to this. So when I was 11, I moved from Boston to Texas and lived a sheltered childhood with my dad. And when I graduated high school in 1994, I moved back to Boston. And I noticed that a lot of my peers were already parents at 18, 19 years old. Now, when I moved back to Boston, I was instantly homeless. I can do a story time on that, but moving on. I was couch surfing, working minimum wage jobs, really trying to make ends meet, and I was at my wit's end. And I want you to keep in mind that the economy was booming back then. It wasn't long before peers and professionals all gave me the same advice as to how I can get myself out of my situation. And when I tell you the advice that they gave me blew my mind, I'm not exaggerating. And Gen X, you better not deny this shit. I was told to have a baby.
Bruh.
Have a baby. Back then, if you had a baby, you can get housing and more than enough food stamps with no issue. There were also agencies that would help furnish your whole apartment. And others would help out with clothes and school supplies. But you had to have a baby. And I didn't want a baby. And the feedback I got was kind of mind-blowing. Do you want to get out of this mess or not? You will grow to love your child. Once you're a mom, you'll get over it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not having a baby for the purpose of a meal ticket. Y'all are crazy. And that's when I started looking at the bigger picture, especially with my peers that were giving me that same advice. I would see how they were with their children, and there was no real bond. Kind of like their kids were in the way of their happiness. So with millennials being adults now and hearing their stories, I can't help but think about the times I would see them as children being pawned off on the grandmother, the auntie, and all of that. I decided to go to a women's shelter, and I worked 2 jobs until I got my first apartment when I was 19. And I did not have my first and only child until I was 37. By the way, I don't let anyone watch my daughter, and I don't do babysitters. My daughter's always with me. So in that sense, I'm much like my mom when we were young, and my mom's a baby boomer. So with many Gen Xers being grandmothers and older aunties that don't want to watch their grandchildren or young family members, I will say this. My opinion is that they always have been and always will be spoiled from that 90s era.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Y'all heard it.
Now notice, she told y'all she didn't have her first child till she was 37. Notice, her parents are baby boomers. What did I just tell y'all about myself? I'm 38. My parents are baby boomers. After that baby boomer generation, that was the beginning of the end, man. That was the beginning of the end. This woman had women in her same age group telling her to have a child in order to get out of being homeless. Sounds very similar to how Ebony K is promoting single motherhood on purpose. Kind of like the video that I did the other day that pissed me off about the woman who had parents that told her you don't need a man, you just need a child. And y'all wonder why we over here telling men to protect their seed. And then y'all wonder why the hell when women want to scream deadbeat single father, I call bullshit most of the time. Because I keep seeing and hearing shit like this. And honestly, it pisses me the fuck off. Coming from a man that should have a son his damn self. I've already went over that. That's another story for another day. A lot of men that watch me want families. They want children. They want to be fathers. And I'm not talking about that, oh, just sitting on child support giving money when you need a father. No, they want to be involved. They want to be there. They want nuclear families. That's the real reason why passport bros exist. That's the real reason why men are checking out. Because clearly women stopped valuing nuclear families for quite some time now. Generation X? Seriously? Now I'm starting to understand why so many people in my age group, millennials in particular, seem to come off a little screwed up and confused, because we're dab smack in the middle of all this shit. This is really sad, man. It's sad to see, bro. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this, man. If you're new to the platform, please subscribe. OGs, I appreciate the love and support. Make sure y'all hitting that bell notification. That way y'all know when I'm uploading. Hit the like button because it helps with the algorithm. It helps me reach a broader audience. Also, look out for the travel vlog channel, Unplugged Traveler. Link is in the description and pinned in the comments. As well as the latest mixtape, Lost Music Volume 1. That just dropped today. Also, if you're interested in the merch, spreadshot.com. Link is in the description as well. So on to the next video, y'all. Deuces.